All right, back on the road again. Still here in the hood. We're actually between three kind of important points for me in the old city center, which is the Lurong Temple, which is the 6 banyan tree temple, and the other one is the Guangzhou Temple, which is a pretty amazing complex. And to the south of us here is the oldest mosque in Guangzhou. And so this part of the Ave is dedicated to refrigeration. We're going to jump in here if we can. There we go. Just kind of stick your nose in. Things are cooling off a bit as you get closer to Mid-Autumn Festival. So it's not totally unbearable late in the afternoon. Still shorts and tank weather, that's good. Not sure what he's doing down there, little Xiaopang. It's always full of little curiosities. Never really be certain of anything between the language and culture barrier. Just a different way about thinking of things. So these old cats are always out here in front of the local top shop. And so that's definitely Cantonese. And so that's the majority of the input here. Try to keep things as clean as possible. Gets to be a little beggary up here by the temple. And especially if there's certain Buddhist holidays. Beggars, they know when to come out, help people make good merit, good karma. Recycling sort of takes care of its own. They've made a concerted effort to get all the power lines and telco lines sort of bundled up. A lot of them are dead lines, though, that's the thing. So sometimes it's half measures with good intent. Yeah, is what it is, I suppose. It's comfortable. And this thing is changed quite often. It's been many things. Now it's a tea shop. It was a Luck In Coffee there, which is a top franchise here trying to take on Starbucks. Before that, it was something else. There's nothing like having a tea shop next to a tea shop. And so we're coming down here by the public restroom, which is another reason why these cats always hang out here. People in uniform are like the city cleaners. And so they're either in on the hoarding and gathering for recycling, or they're trying to prevent it. And as I said, everything's a bloody construction pit these days. Everywhere you go. So you got to be extra careful where you walk. And so always my favorite here was coming up to the Guangzhou Temple before they put in the feng shui blocker there at the gates. At certain times of year, the sun would hit the golden Buddha and it would shine like a laser beam down this street. It's pretty amazing to see. So the thing always cracks me up when they have construction is like these guys just put in this little supermarket and then within a week or two they start tearing up the road. It's always like a bad episode of Goodfellas. The fix is always in. You see new businesses move in all the time. And next thing you know, it's construction time. And so, more than likely, if they didn't know ahead of time to get a discount, surprise! So we'll see if they can survive that or not. This gets really active during the weekends. People come here from all over. It's a beautiful temple. The share bike wars continue. A few top players left. Mobike was left standing. And then Didi, which is their version of Uber, has come out with their bike line now, along with Alipay, which is Happy Bike, which I use that one. Ofo, you still see those bikes around, but they're done. It's kind of a big venture capital rush to produce these bikes, which are super cheap, and they just produce them in the millions. And the old "why can't we have nice things?" they just ended up as piles of rubbish in the streets. So a lot of cities went against them. A lot of people lost their deposits, including mine, $15 US. I mean, I assume I can still use Ofo. I still have the application on my phone, but it's rare to find a bike that's even operational. And so we're coming up around the corner here of another place that is continually in flux as a business. When I got here a couple of years ago, of course, it was the old headquarters away from home, the Whammy Cafe, part of the New World Hotel complex. Not a lot of foreigners, so now it's going through what we call the David Lynch bar. And so it continues to turn into a cocktail bar that's been remodeled twice already, and it's always on a bit of the pretentious end. They have a tendency to do that. A lot of it is the facade of appearing to be, better than what it was, or what it should be, instead of just kind of keeping it simple. It's amazing to see all the changes in the 12 years that I've been here. I mean, even the way that people dress now is so different. And then the generation that came up during that time, its behavior, also very different. There's definitely a cohesiveness to this area, because most of these people own their homes, and so a lot of people know each other in the streets. A lot of people know me. The hospital's nearby, hence the guy in the hospital PJs. And this has been going through some changes here. This mysterious hotel, massage, karaoke place. And of course the pharmacy is always the same. There's a green light, which merely for decorative purposes, according to the guy in the BMW. So you gotta go by that. So he's gonna go through it anyway, see. Now you know why I post a lot of those goofy videos on my Insta of things that happen. But don't get that confused for fear and loathing. It's just more of a passive interest in a daily train wreck here. I'm always kind of disappointed when isn't something happening. And as maddening as it gets and ready for a break, you actually end up missing it. I can't explain it. Some sort of Stockholm syndrome. But now it's getting to be like sort of like the good time of year for the weather. Once it starts to cool off a bit more, makes a big difference. Oh, the sports lottery is now something else. Always shifting. It's the same thing in the supermarkets. They're always changing things around to make work for their employees. So because of the language barrier, you've got to learn some basics to find things sometimes. Because next time you go back, it'll be in a different place. This is another one that flips over quite often. And so we're here. We're going to go eat some food from a guy that should open a restaurant who doesn't want to open a restaurant.